Hey guys, and thank you for stopping by and checking on us again here at TaylorMade Media Group as well as Soul Cafe Radio. You asked the question, what has changed since the last time you guys were here? Man, so many things have changed. We've added more announcers to the radio. Now have Mr. Steve Agassiz from the UK. Steve is on the radio every weekend with the Weekend Brunch. Steve is our UK connection. He brings a lot of music to the table that we probably wouldn't be able to get our hands on. Steve hooks us up, so you definitely check him out for some new stuff. You got Johnny Walker with Women Who Jam. It's all about females in the music industry, both national and indie artists. We have Will Downing and his Wind Down. And then, of course, there's me in the afternoon. Another big change is that we've grown our listenership. I think the last time you guys were by, we probably had 150 people listening to the radio station on a continuous basis. Now, our continuous number is somewhere around 5,000. When we bring artists through and have artist interviews in studio or on the telephone, we've seen numbers as big as 11,000 people checking us out from all over the world. That's a big change. And for me, they've built me a studio. TaylorMade has built a studio for me in Charlotte, North Carolina, as well as we still have the studio in Times Square in New York City. I'm back and forth. I live in Charlotte now. I've always lived in Charlotte, but I'm now traveling back and forth to New York to do the show. So it allows me to continue to move my business forward as well as still do the radio show and be active on the station. So at any given time, I could be in Charlotte or I could be in New York. It just doesn't matter. We're going to do the show regardless of where we are. So those are just a few things that have changed since the last time you guys came by. Yes, we have added a couple other stations to the mix. We have iVibe, we have The Loft. Both of them are brand new since the last time you guys were by. The Loft is a smooth jazz station with a bunch of R&B twisted in it. It's a really cool mix of smooth jazz and R&B. And then we have iVibe, which is our top 40 station. It's more rhythmic, plays a lot of pop stuff, a lot of R&B stuff, a lot of hip hop. So for those people that want to stay in tune to what's going on today, you can check out iVibe. For if you want a smoother journey, you can check out The Loft. If you want to know what's going on with indie soul and R&B, you can check out Soul Cafe Radio. And we're about to add a gospel station to the mix. I'm not really supposed to talk about that, but that's coming real soon. So TaylorMade Media Group is growing by leaps and bounds in a hurry. I believe that people listen to Soul Cafe Radio and all of our other properties because they're tired of hearing the same 25 records over and over. And that's no diss to any other person in radio, any other programmer, or any of that. I just believe that the listener wants a wide variety of music. I believe that with all my heart. I understand cuming and I understand time spent listening and all that stuff. I understand it, but the listener wants, and we're finding that the listener wants a greater and a wider experience of music. So I believe that that's why Soul Cafe Radio in particular is really growing fast, because we turn over a lot of records. We're playing a lot of fresh stuff, stuff that people had never heard of, artists that people have never heard of, that's making really good music that you just don't hear on terrestrial radio. And I believe that that's why we've grown so fast, and we're still growing every day. People are finding Soul Cafe Radio, The Loft, and iVibe. So we're growing at every level from every station and every angle. And I'm really excited about it. Unfortunately, yes, I do have to say no to a lot of people about playing their record. That's probably one of the parts of the job that I really don't like, but we have an agenda that we're trying to fulfill musically on the station and on all of the stations. And sometimes you listen to records and people really beat you up over them, but it's like, man, I just can't play the record. Whether it be the mix, whether it be the mastering, whether it be the song is just not a good record. Sometimes you hear great lyrics and bad beats. Sometimes you hear great beats and bad lyrics. And sometimes you have the magic. And those that have the magic, those are the records that you hear on the radio. So we have music meetings every week. We sit down, we listen to a ton of music every Tuesday, and we make the decision at that point what's going to go on the radio and what are we going to be able to support full time and really play the devil out of it. So that's kind of the formula that we use, and it's working for us. You know, I love when I'm out and about and hearing people tell us why they like Soul Cafe Radio. That's a really good feeling to hear people say that they love the mix of music. They love the fact that we play things that they'd never heard before that they really, really enjoy. And I think that that's the success of Soul Cafe Radio, The Loft, and iVibe. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that a lot of people are afraid to be on the show with me in the afternoon. I don't know why they're afraid, because I'm not going to beat anybody up. I'm not going to pry too deep into your personal life, but your public life, I'm going to definitely jump on top of it. And I believe that that's why some people are afraid to be on the show, because I do ask the hard questions. I'm not disrespecting any of my other teammates. I'm just simply saying, for me, I go hard. I ask the questions. I want to know what the people want to know. And I always say that you have to make a decision early when you get in the radio business. Are you going to be a fan of the music business, or are you going to be a fan of the people? I'm a fan of the people. So I want to ask the questions that the people want to know. I want to be able to deliver the content that they want to know. Now, if I was a fan of the music business, I would be afraid to ask the questions, because, you know, you ask the wrong questions and all of a sudden you're blackballed. You're not invited to the parties. You're not invited to the listening parties. You're not invited to those things. Well, most of the time I'm invited. I don't even go anyway. So it doesn't matter to me. I'm in love with the job. I'm in love with information, disseminating information to the listener. And yes, I believe that people are afraid, because some people are afraid of their truths. And I dig in. For every interview that I get ready, when I'm getting ready to do the interview, I do my research. I find out what's going on with you. I talk to people. So when I get you on the radio, especially somebody that's got some tenure. Now, a brand new artist, there's nothing to really talk about other than the music and where they come from and blah, blah, blah. But an artist that's been around for a while, yeah, I'm getting ready for you, man. So I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm just asking the questions that's already out there on the web, and people want to know the answers. So while I got you on the radio with me, I asked those questions. So I believe that's why people are afraid to be on the air with me. They think I'm going to disrespect them, and I'm just saying, I'm asking you about your life. That's all. What can people expect over the next 6 months from Soul Cafe Radio? Well, right off the bat, we got the Indie Soul Grammys. That's coming up in just a little bit. We were trying to find a place to host the Indie Soul Grammys, but we were having a difficult time finding a building that was within our budget. So we're going to do the first annual Indie Soul Grammys online. It was going to be in a place, in a physical location, but now we're going to do it online. That's going to be happening really, really soon. And we're going to be giving away the same awards. We're going to have the Album of the Year. We're going to have the Artist of the Year, Single of the Year, Best This, Best That. And we're going to give away some really nice trophies for that. Hopefully by the second annual Indie Soul Grammy Awards, we'll be in a facility where we can have live entertainment and all of that stuff. We also have a brand new radio app that's being built for Androids, for Blackberries, and iPhones. That is going to be a really cool app, because it'll have all of our properties only inside the app. Be a lot of stuff that you can talk to other people, build into the app. It's going to be really cool. I've seen the template for it already. I can't wait to actually start using it and trying it out. So that's coming really soon. Hopefully you'll hear a morning show and a midday person on Soul Cafe Radio real fast. We've been looking, trying to find the right chemistry, the right mix of person has been quite challenging, but that's what we're looking for Soul Cafe Radio within the next few months. Hopefully it'll happen sooner than later, but over the next 6 months, those things we know for sure are going to happen, so be on the lookout for that, as well as other things I'm not at liberty to talk about just yet because they're not finalized ideas, but I can promise you we'll have more winning, more chances for you to win cash, more great indie soul music, and we just gonna have some fun, man. We about lifestyle, and we're gonna make sure that your lifestyle is right on point here at Soul Cafe Radio and all of our other properties as well. Well, last but not least, I would like to say thank you and more thank yous to the listener. Whether you're here in the United States or some other corner of the world, thank you so much for dialing us up every day and coming back every day to check out what we got going on Soul Cafe Radio. For those of you that use iVibe and The Loft, thank you for checking those stations out. We really appreciate you. We do realize that you have a choice in radio stations, and we're so glad and honored that you stop by and check us out. Hopefully we're meeting all the things that you need in radio. And if there's anything that you don't hear that you would like to hear, feel free to let us know. We will research it and do our best to get it on the radio. But from the bottom of our hearts, and I think that I speak for Steve, for Johnny Walker, for Will Downing, and the management of TaylorMade Media Group, we just want to say thank you, and please keep listening, keep checking us out, keep telling your friends about us, because we're only getting bigger, better, and stronger. And thank you